Warning, it's...
Before we plunge into the mayhem with Nasty Nova, Love Bambina, Chelsea J, Sassy Bree, and Lucian Locks on the Ghetto Games podcast. Disclaimer, we are not licensed therapists, we are not medical doctors, we are not legal advisors. The thoughts, views, and opinions we're throwing out here are purely for your entertainment. This podcast is all about keeping it real and amusing. We engage in discussions and games with fantastic guests, covering everything from social and political issues to spirituality and beyond. However, let's be clear, it's all for the sake of entertainment. Some info might be true, some might be, well, a bit of creative storytelling. And just so we're on the same page, don't even consider attempting any of this at home. We might be trained in the art of wild entertainment, but looking out for your best interest? No, not our thing, or our own for that matter. So, fasten your seatbelts for the wild ride.
You are now tuned into the Ghetto Games Podcast.
Welcome to the Ghetto Games Podcast.
So in continuation of the game ButtaHeadz, I wanted to dive deep into the evolution of beauty. Obviously, back in the day, there weren't much of BBLs going on. From hair to makeup to anything you can name. Yeah, like bodies, the physical attraction. So
okay.
What are some reasons why you think there has been like a shift? History does repeat itself. Mm-hmm. So we see things like fashion come back around. We see things like different hairstyles come back around. Mm-hmm. But what do you all think is the main reason for the surge in BBLs, the plastic surgeries, the Botox, the lip fillers?
I think it's the accessibility and the affordability. If you can, people, depending on who you are, you have $5,000, $10,000, or you can work to earn $5,000, $10,000. And some people have self-conscious issues where they feel as though they want to alter their appearance to an appearance that they feel is acceptable for them or people they may want to attract. And I feel like the accessibility of it, again, going back to pop culture, and then we talked about it a few weeks ago, pop culture definitely influences or makes it more relevant or acceptable for people to say, well, this person does it. They're successful. They're wealthy. And why should I be able to, reaping those same surge? Well, I don't want to say surge. You said surge earlier, but same surgeries. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It's definitely a trend. That's for sure.
I think it's instant gratification, and just trying to fit in, whether it be with their peers or with other celebrities, because they're trying to get that same celebrity look, the Coke bottle shape, flat tummies. I think it's instant gratification, and then going to the gym as if they worked hard to get what they have, but I guess it's more so to maintain.
And I don't think it's so much anything wrong with trying to improve yourself, to your point about going to the gym, or a little nip tuck, if that. But I think it seems to be, like you said, a surge and like over the top with everyone. And I definitely think it goes back to attention as well. Like, we do want to appeal to, the opposite sex, but we also want to appeal in the entertainment industry, to your point. But I do think that we as a people, as a culture, are just super attention hungry. Yeah. So, yeah.
So much so that they are going to plastic surgeons who aren't even
board
licensed.
certified.
Or board certified. They're also asking and wanting to have these surgeries by these people who aren't licensed or board certified, and expecting these extreme changes and killing themselves.
Yeah, that's the what is it? Medical tourism has gone up like exponentially.
Is that
in the
what
last...
happened to the 3 black people? With 2 men were killed and the 1 woman was captured.
Well, they
and
said
held
that,
hostage?
but I think they were doing drugs.
Yeah, I think that was something.
But that's what they said. They said it was about a BBL, but it's been tons of people like from all walks and valleys. You got folks like Kanye West's mom who passed away from plastic surgery.
Jackie O.
People with money, to people who are taking their income tax check and going to the DR to try to get this done, or to Turkey. Like, medical tourism has gone up extensively. And I think about that all the time. Like, having a surgery in the United States in your same city, in your same state is already very, very, I mean, there's always like a chance with surgery, but it's like you're traveling out of the country, having a surgery there, hoping that everything goes well. Not only do you have to recover there oftentimes, and I don't want to say all of them are third world countries, but oftentimes in these different spaces that are very different than our spaces. And then you have to travel back. And I don't know if you guys have ever been out of the country and like been on a flight with girls who are coming back from that. I was on a flight one time with a couple girls who came back from the DR. And when I tell you they were screaming the entire flight, like, I mean, literally like somebody was killing them. They couldn't sit
They
down.
walk like stick figures.
Yeah, they walk like stick figures. They're sitting with their knees in the freaking airplane for 6-7 hours, or having to buy multiple seats because they can't sit down on their behinds. And then, you know, they're getting wheeled, and it's just a lot. And you know, many of them are really happy to do this. This is something they want to do. And I definitely encourage everyone. I'm all about body positivity. So whatever you want to do, but I'm like, just do your research. Like, you know, it's scary.
If I ain't got the money to stay over there for some months to heal, I don't need to do it. I need to break.
What about the money though? So not the money that they're paying for. Some of these women are actually going out there to increase their income. So when they come back home, they in the club, they dating certain type of men. You know, certain
Strippers.
entertainment purposes, like the BBL. I mean, let's be real. The
aesthetic.
BBL can increase a woman's income tenfold.
Yeah, the aesthetic, especially for an entertainer.
You know, yeah. So I was thinking about some of these young ladies, some of these entertainers, whether that be, you know, strippers,
Nightlife.
rappers,
Ladies of the nightlife.
singers. And they may be at the beginning stages of their careers. A lot of these women are younger women, and they come across maybe an opportunity to get a BBL, and they think about the opportunity of a financial gain by getting one. I know you said you're not putting anybody down, but like, how do y'all feel about BBLs first of all? And is increasing your income, is that a justification for you?
I don't, and I don't think that I would do anything that's not going to, like, if it was like a health thing, which is not, then maybe I would consider doing something like that. But I just don't feel like I need to do that. Like, I don't want to even sit through that much pain. I'm not riding on a plane on my knees. Like I said, if I can't stay over there and like heal and like, and it's more to it. You got to get massages. It's a lot to it. I'm not doing. My wisdom teeth almost took me out. I can't do.
listen.
I'm done with I don't think I could do the BBL.
No.
It's gonna be honest with you.
No. Chelsea?
I feel like if it's natural looking, maybe. But I feel like it's ways to go around it outside of like putting yourself through going through anesthesia and not knowing the side effects, not knowing what your body can handle. Because it's a lot that's going on through a BBL. It's a lot of body parts that you're, you know, working on at one time. So, I would say it's nothing wrong with it I don't know, if it's something minor, nothing major, or maybe like one at a time, one part at a time. But just try to do the work.
And
Yeah.
transferring
First.
fat, like,
And I agree with Chelsea. Like, I'm gonna piggyback off of that. Like, I don't think it's anything wrong with any kind of cosmetic or plastic surgery, but research is critical. And not just like jumping into it just because you're excited about it. And I also think that the risk need to be considered. So like 100%, like once you add an additional surgery on, it increases the risk. And BBL specifically, and I may be, you know, I don't quote me, but as I did my research, it indicates it's like one of the few blind surgeries, meaning they kind of just feel, they don't really know sometimes, because a lot of women die because they're actually are punctured, and the fat that they're transferring goes into their bloodstream, which is a fat embolism. You die immediately. And that's how a lot of women are dying. And it's kind of a blind surgery where the surgeon is putting it in, and you know, he's familiar, but that's why you want those board certified. You want folks that know what they doing. So
Right.
it's just it's a tricky thing.
How do you feel about the weight loss surgeries? How it do you think it's the same as the BBLs, and would you put that on the same level as?
No.
Do you think
Really?
it should be required for like you to lose a certain amount of weight before, you know how you have a diet restriction before
Right.
going under any type of weight loss surgery?
Yeah.
Right.
Do you feel like it should be the same requirement for a BBL?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of doctors make you do that because they want to see if you're gonna. Because they're like, when you get the surgery, you still need to keep your body, and you can tell folks that don't. A lot of them photos we just saw, you know, they might have had a decent BBL, but then a couple of months later, a year later, they just let themselves go. You can't. So it is a lifestyle change, regardless. So I think that would be a good practice, and I know a lot of surgeons that do that. They require you to lose a certain amount, be within a certain BMI.
Work for it. At least try to work for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've gone through some evolution of beauty within our time, just from being in elementary, middle, high school to us now being adults. What are some things that you all can remember? I know I remember Alicia Keys having the cornrows.
beautiful.
When she first came out, her
Loved it.
different style cornrows.
Amazing.
And now she's like no makeup at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
When before she was wearing makeup, and now she just feels like she don't need to wear, and she doesn't. She's very beautiful naturally.
100%. One thing. Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say veneers. I think it was like you started from elementary to now. I feel like
from braces to veneers.
yeah, like, you know, I remember, you know, back in the day, you didn't want to walk around with those braces in your mouth. You know, people would pick on you, talk about you, all kinds of. People live with bad teeth because they didn't want to get them daggone braces. I know people that had braces for too many years. Like, why you got braces for 6 years, bro?
Tell me about it.
Your teeth are horrid. But now you got a couple of stacks per tooth. You can get your stuff done, knock it out, depending on your insurance plans and things like that. A lot of things. I think
Even without insurance, you can go. And insurance doesn't cover veneers, but because it's cosmetic.
it's cosmetic.
Yeah.
But back to Bam saying going over to different countries. There's a lot of people that's saying going over to Colombia to get their teeth done. A lot of people going over to Dominican Republic to get their veneers done. However, there's different types of veneers. I don't know if people know that. So you have composite veneers and you have porcelain veneers. One you have to maintain, I guess, within 7 or 10 years, and the other one is like 15 years. But when you go to these other countries, they don't have like any type of warranty or any type of insurance. So when your teeth falls out, then you have to try to figure out how to get back over there to get your teeth.
Yeah, because a lot of doctors don't want to work on top of other people's work.
Of other people's work, and
See,
I wouldn't either.
It's crazy. Something I think about even now for me, because you guys know that I wear extensions. Like, I wear my natural hair, I wear extensions, but something that's very different now than it was back in the day. I remember growing up in the 90s, and tracks have been around forever, but women blended their tracks. They wanted to, not necessarily act or give the illusion, but they definitely, had a little bit of pride in like just kind of like presenting yourself as natural. But now it's like women are like, no, it's a wig.
Lace.
I'm pulling off my wig
Lace.
right here for you. Yeah, it's a lace. And I love a good lace wig. But to be quite honest, they can be really hard to maintain unless you're a stylist, because it takes a lot of work. And you have people walking around with 2-3 month old lace fronts that were really originally for movies, temporary looks. So but that's something that I've noticed, like just in general hair, and also just like eyelashes. People,
that was the one I was going to say.
Yeah.
The lashes.
yeah.
I'm sick of it.
You talk about the
Sick of these fans.
You sick of what?
The fans.
Yeah, we went from mascara to waterproof mascara
Yep.
to magnet lashes to
I mean,
outright strips to
bat wings.
individual, and then clusters. Now we have clusters.
They be putting the
Don't they put them one by one?
eyelashes.
Don't they put them one by-
and those
That's
are
crazy.
beautiful. But those are beautiful.
That's crazy. How long you sitting there for one by one?
About an hour and a
Over
half,
an
2
hour.
hours.
Yeah,
yeah,
I said
it's
over an
definitely
hour
over.
for
I would
sure.
say
With
a
your eyes
minimum 2
closed.
hours.
But
Yeah.
what? One by one.
One by one.
Yeah, for about
That-
2 hours for both
Y'all know how
eyes.
small a piece
Yes.
of one follicle of hair is?
Yes, and it's that meticulous.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
What's crazy,
Eyebrows.
yes, is
Eyebrows
that the
definitely
girls
was-
getting
Oh,
the
tatted
individuals on the
eyebrows.
bottom.
The eyebrows, the ombre,
Period.
eyebrows, the
Yeah. permanent
it
makeup
called?
period.
And we're just talking about things that have changed within our lifetime.
Right.
These are not like 50, 60 years
brow
ago.
tint, I guess is what
Brow
it's called.
tint. Yeah, just permanent makeup in general.
Microblading.
Now, something that has always been around, because I
Threading.
mean, my great, what?
Threading.
Yes.
First it was eye wax, then it was the whole threading situation.
The girdles. I mean, my great grandmother put me on a girdle for the first time. So they have evolved.
Now you guys were talking. You guys were saying a few different things with the eyelashes, the eyebrows. We got the BBLs. We got lace fronts, and I'm still like baffled about the individual eyelash. Like that's crazy. Is that something that you want, or do you think that that's what a man wants for you?
I think it's a combination of both. I think some women, I personally don't do much I do that for me, for my own fulfillment, for my own enhancements of what I already have, to highlight my eyebrows or to magnify the size of my eyelashes. But I do think there are some women that think that this is what men like, and that's why they do it, because they want the attention, or their man is showing interest to those type of women, so they're thinking that maybe I need to do this to fit into what they are entertaining, what they're liking.
Yeah.
So I think it's a combination.
A combination.
Yeah.
So, okay, just sticking with the combination. So, is it more of a when you say you like it, or you like get your eyelashes done? I'm assuming you get your eyelashes done.
I don't get. I've
So
got my
you're not putting them
eyelashes
one by
done.
one in there.
No,
I've
I might
had
do
that
cluster-
done.
I do clusters. My little sisters, because they're into the eyelash thing, so I let them practice on me. But
Okay.
no, I'm not paying to get my eyelashes done. I'll do an eyelash strip from time to time, but I still
So as far
also
as, like,
do
your
mascara.
You're like me, Chelsea. You probably would pay for your hair over your
yeah,
eyelashes.
for sure.
That's how I am
Okay. For
too.
sure.
And
Okay.
everybody's different, because there are people who will forego hair, do that at home, so they
As
do their
long as
eyelashes.
they got their makeup and lashes
Yeah.
done, that's them. That's
yeah,
their makeup.
yeah.
That's their beauty.
But I always will pay for hair over something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So your hair is very important to you.
Yes.
Or to you, and do you feel like your hair is very important to the people that you attract, the men that you attract?
Well,
I don't think about
a
it when
lot
it
of
come to
men
hair.
that I attract,
When it comes to hair, no.
They
Hair
prefer,
to you is you.
They prefer no weave, like just natural hair. But I wear a lot of weave.
Mm-hmm.
I wear my hair and a lot of weave. So
You say a lot of men that you attract, or a lot of men that you have, or not that I'm saying a lot of men you've been with, but men that you have dated prefer you
men
natural
that I
than
attract, have
Okay.
conversation with, whether it's been dating, whether it's been friends, whether it's been I
Okay,
slept
attract.
with them.
Okay.
They all seem to have this natural fetish, but it doesn't matter.
No.
They
Right.
they still are feeling it, whether it's
Yeah, 'cause
natural
it's
or
beautiful.
weave. Yeah,
At the end of the day. Yeah. I think one of the things I do love about everything that's happened is just how you can kind of just flexibly, the flexibility of your look, just being able to change your look.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something I
mean,
absolutely
having
yeah.
the ability
For women,
to do
yeah,
that.
Right.
women, you guys can look like yesterday,
Yeah.
today, and tomorrow in 3 hours.
Listen, I love it.
That's cool.
I do love
Yeah.
that. But I think that there is like this kind of obsession with like the perfection. And there's a lot of beauty in imperfection. And I think that we just kind of sometimes take away from that. I personally have considered plastic surgery, and I wanted a BBL for a long time. And I was
wonder
actually going to
why.
go down to
For instant
Miami.
gratification?
Yeah, I was going to go to down to Miami, and I had a whole plan. And I started really doing my research, and I was reading up on the girls and on YouTube, and I'm like, these women look like they're miserable. And then you would see a lot of them months later, and either their butts fell or they didn't eat the proper way. I mean, and they just would have so many issues, blood clots. And so, yeah, I agree.
Once I started seeing people take it out, I was like, yeah, it's not meant for me to try to even do.
Yeah.
no shit
And they
like
went
that.
from the butt shots.
Just
To
on the
the-
BBLs, the consensus I've been hearing from from the fellas in the streets, on locks on the block, but no, it's a consensus I've been hearing from a lot of fellas have been they would marry a natural bodied woman, but they would date a BBL woman. I would rather.
Why waste your time dating them?
I would rather marry a woman that's not distracting, taking my child to parent teacher conference.
Yeah.
Versus my wife walking in here with a
Because
BBL
that's a whole nother
and
part
another
of it.
experience. So that,
Like,
that's
how
the
do you do
consensus
regular
that I've
shit?
received.
Like
Without
being a
being-
teacher with a fat ass.
It's distracting.
I mean, the police officer one. I saw a couple of them. I was like,
Police with a
God
fat ass.
damn.
Now, granted, your natural body is your natural body, but when you get those enhancements, and they're like,
More of a distraction than an enhancement. It's more of a distraction than an enhancement, right?
Yeah.
And in your own lifestyle, depending on your lifestyle, right?
right,
But they can easily say that ain't how they look ain't got nothing to do with you.
yeah.
They can
It's a
easily
fact.
they can easily say that.
But I've heard like people were talking about how Cardi B going to her daughter's school is distracting. So like other parents are complaining about it. So I have heard other.
oh yeah.
I don't think it's her butt that's distracting.
Oh well,
Yeah.
that's quite
Well,
sure.
not
That's
alone.
possible.
yeah, I don't think it's the
but
celebrity.
it's enough
one.
to distract.
But
But I mean,
Absolutely.
it's women out here too that have big, but well, it's not a lot, but I've seen women with big asses that ain't never had their
Right.
ass done.
Right.
Right.
So it's,
yeah,
I mean,
it's
there's
saturated
some
all.
nice natural
So-
booties out here.
Yeah. So I mean, and those are
Absolutely.
just
Shout out
Nothing
to
like
the
a
nice
nice
it's
booty.
gonna be, you
yeah,
know,
nice firm.
anything that's
soft.
different or that
Yeah.
catches your eye. It's gonna be, you know,
Who was into
Yeah.
that,
very
Chelsea?
distracting.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing like a nice butt. Nice
No.
butt will get your attention.
No,
What?
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Get you attention and
It'll
maybe a
make you
car. You know,
look-
depending on who you
Exactly.
are.
You see her butt.
You're going to double
Definitely
back.
gotta point that out.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Trying to not be a creep about it, but you're going to double back.
Definitely. Gonna
Okay,
What?
so we've seen a shift in, like, for example, for locks,
Yeah.
dreads in the workplace.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know. I think this was in recently. It was a young male that was.
I think it was in Texas.
I think it was Texas, black male, and he
Uh-huh.
had dreads, and he got suspended. I want to say for his locks.
correct.
So we've seen a shift in natural hair
Yeah.
Even the military.
throughout the year as well.
The military banned it up until maybe around Obama time, where they still make you cut your hair, but you can start your locks in the military. Police officers used to do it as well. They used to ban people with locks and be able to be in the force. Now they need them so they can be undercover. I remember my experience with locks. My mother, I was probably 16, about to turn 17 years old, making some decisions. I was probably 17 when I first got my first twist, but my mother even told me, I came in the house and I got my little gel twist. I thought I was doing something. She said, why would you do that? Why would you want to lock your hair? You're never going to get a job. You're never going to have anything. You're never, like, she just went, just dumped on me. And then that rebellious kid in me was like, I'm going to do this. I've been locking my hair for 17 years. I don't plan on cutting no time soon. But Mom, I got you though. I got you.
Yeah. No, that's it's interesting because recently I have curly hair naturally, and I don't have a relaxer. I straighten my hair, but recently someone asked me, was I trying to look white?
Oof.
And
That annoys me.
and I said, you know, because they were like, that's a more European style. And I'm like, well, the beautiful thing about black hair is that we can do whatever we want. You
It can be
know,
versatile.
Could you add
It can
them
be
kinks to
versatile.
the
You can't do it the opposite way, but we can do it this way, and it's the same thing with color. So, you know, you can't get darker. I mean, well, you can tan, but we can dilute the darkness. So I don't know. I mean, what are you guys? You already kind of commented you hate that. So what would you say to somebody who said that to you?
It was African American said that
Well,
to you.
I've had like other black people say it to me. That's most annoying
Yeah.
because
That's
why do I
always
have
the
to be
ones.
mixed with something in order to have a
Always the
nice
ones.
textured hair? Like
Yeah.
you can't just really say, "Oh, your hair, you have pretty hair."
Oh, you mixed?
Just
You
say you
manage
have
your
pretty
hair
hair
really well.
Yeah, you
Back in the
manage
day
your
with
hair.
Cherokee, you got Cherokee in you?
Yeah, I do. I have Creole. I have Cherokee and Creole.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
why does that even matter?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
why can't it just?
Yeah.
I'm black
You
and
have
have
pretty
nice
hair.
hair.
Yeah,
Right.
you have pretty hair.
The
Not even that I'm black.
complexity,
Yeah.
though,
Just-
the complexity of
With
the
pretty
Black
hair.
American and the Black diaspora, African diaspora, is exactly what you just said, though, which is why it's ignorant as fuck
Yeah.
for people to be like, "Oh, what are you?" We are all
We're all mixed with something.
So, like, yes, and if you've been to Africa. Because people love to act like Egypt is the Middle East and it's not
What?
in Africa.
What?
You know, I'm Egyptian, so they love to be like, oh, you're in Middle Eastern. And I am, because I'm also have Saudi in me. But it's crazy. So it's just how people's perceptions and what they want to lift up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Relaxers was a thing for me in middle school. I think I got my hair relaxed
Texturizer.
when I was, I want to say in middle school. May have been sooner, but I think it was middle school when I first got my relaxer. Prior to getting a relaxer, we kept like, it was hot press was the thing, but that didn't last. We would get in the shower and that, yeah. So the relaxer thing, I guess, was like more so convenient. But now that we've gotten older as adults, it's more people going out now to try the natural route, not getting relaxers.
Love natural hair.
You know, wearing their curls.
Yeah.
We've learned what our curl patterns have like consist of now.
And I'm learning this is new, straight naturals versus curly naturals. And meaning like you can't wear it, like you would not wear your hair curly. Like I wouldn't wear my hair curly. I would have to either braid it up or I would have to straighten it in some form. Like I can't. You know,
don't prefer to do
hell
that.
no. Like
To maintain it, it's a little bit more.
But it's better because I will say, like, from when I got relaxers, which I think I was in elementary, like getting ready to go to middle school when I got my first relaxer. My hair is way thicker now than it was when I had a relaxer or whatever. So I would never go back to it, but it's a lot. It was very much so convenient.
Yeah.
It was very much so convenient, but
TCB, no lie, relax.
Okay.
screaming.
No, but it's funny because I recently thought about going to like a keratin treatment since I've been wearing my hair straight more often, and it's just like a new branded texturizer. But I that brings me to another, like, I don't see as many relaxers, but I remember back in the day, people would relax their baby's hair at like age 5, 6.
Don't get me
Kids
started.
would have
It was very common.
the texturizers in the boys' hair. Like,
Oh my
started.
God, just for me.
Girl.
I'm saying hair care is a booming business.
Listen.
Thanks to people that look like us.
But,
yeah, absolutely.
But what's interesting is there's a lot of things on the shelves in our big brand stores that we think are Black brands, and they are
they're
not
not.
of
Yeah.
ours.
Yeah, and they I guess they market
Cantu
their
is one of
product
them.
directly
Yeah.
towards us.
Cantu is one of them.
Okay, so Lucian, I want to go back to you and the comment that you made about your mother making comments about you not being able to get a good job because of your locks.
Yeah.
Now that you're an adult, do you find where she was trying to say to you in that moment? Have you experienced any of those hardships with having locks in the workplace?
I feel as though, well, first of all, let me be clear. I've only been in one situation where it was documented that you could not have locks for this job, for this position. It was documented, which is kind of crazy to me because I was in my mid-20s and I was like, what? That's crazy. But I feel as though that I was that mom gave me that energy and give me all that behind me. I went into the situation with that mindset that I have to win this job because they're not going to give it to a job with a guy with locks. So to say that those jobs that I did get, I wouldn't have gotten if I didn't put that same energy or same effort, that same mindset behind me. I think I still would have gotten the job because of my skills, my way I articulated myself in each interview, and I was a better candidate for the job based off any of my peers. That one opportunity that documented that you cannot have locks to work here, I literally went to the interview knowing that you said I can't have locks. I sat down, I did my interview, they offered me the job, and I turned them down. Simple as that.
You turned them down because
there was another opportunity
that was
for
something
me.
for you to prove.
But for me, it was proving to myself. It was proving to myself that I take that same mindset. I took that same mindset that I went to a job that was going to accept me. And I took that opportunity, somebody that I knew potentially was going to deny me. And I felt as though that there was everything my mom said, this is the stack against me. And now let me win one good time. And when they gave me the job opportunity, it was not something I didn't want. I had multiple interviews and multiple job opportunities at the time. So it was just more of like more of a notch on my belt to say, look, Mom, I can do it.
That's right. I defied that.
I can do it. I can get a job. People love my locks.
I was about to say braids is more you're starting to see that more in the workplace now. Because I remember initially, and I'm not saying people wasn't doing it, but they were at least pulled back or like in a something to where it was out of their face.
Yeah.
And I remember when this particular job that I'm at now, I remember it was a black HR lady, and she was telling me how you should pull them back. You shouldn't, wear your hair in your face. And initially I did it when she said it. And I thought about it. I was like, why the fuck am I pulling my braids back? Like, what's the problem? And like you said, like, I've had purple hair, pink hair, cut it all off, let it grow. You know what I'm saying? It's how you perform. And that's what y'all need to be looking at. Y'all too busy worried about what the hair looks like. Right. And that doesn't define who I am. So it's just, we definitely changing.
And I think it's also generational, just to say the evolution.
That's true too.
I'm sorry, the evolution. I'm going to jump in real quick. Pulling your hair back, that was my thing. That was my thing. You know what I'm saying? That was my way of navigating the corporate America when I'm sitting in certain rooms, certain meetings, and I'm the only black person there. Multiple times in my career, I've been the only black person there. But my thing subconsciously, going back to my mom, going back to these moments of these, these people are not going to respect you. I used to pull my hair back, put it in, whatever, making sure that you can just see this, and then I articulate, and then they bought into it. I have another friend that's in my friend group, different generation. I'm not saying different generation, probably a couple years younger than me. However, the way he grew up in his professional career, as he's just coming into his professional career and he's moving up, he wears his hair in his face every day. It's all over his face. I mean, the picture, his professional mugshot, the locks is like you can barely see an eye, but it's become more acceptable, and that generation did not have to fear that retaliation or that loss of an opportunity because of the choices that you make with your hairstyle. So we are evolving.
Evolution is good and bad.
To evolution.
Okay.
To evolution.
So to wrap up this segment, who are some celebrities that y'all would think have some good BBLs, like some that don't really look too much different than what they started from?
Good BBL.
Did somebody say Drake?
I'm going to say I really like Bernice Burgess' body.
Oh, she has a great body.
Oh, she got a BBL?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if Dre and Michelle has, but her body.
Oh yeah, Dre's body is nice. I don't think
she hasn't done a lot.
I don't think she's the prettiest, but I do think she has a nice body.
I was actually not going to specifically say BBL, but somebody who I think has always had classic beauty, and I have always just looked up to her as far as her beauty and evolution as a woman, because I've been able to see her from the 90s to now, Halle Berry. Halle Berry to me is still stunning from 90s, to now. So when I think about like a classic beauty and evolution, that's what I want to do. I want to evolve.
Or
like
Tracy Ellis. I'm not too sure that she has gotten a BBL, but
no, Tracy
she has a nice shape. She looks great.
She looks good.
Oh, I'm low key obsessed with her. I love Tracy Ellis.
Amazing.
Everything about her, fashion, her vibe. I'm also a Diana fan, so I'm anything that come from Diana, I'm with it. Check out her bio. I can't wait for her bio to come. It's gonna be here when she's gone.
Isn't her daughter gonna do it, right? Tracy.
Listen, I want the real story, the Gordy. I want everything. So they gonna wait to
somebody pass away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we probably not gonna get that story.
Okay.
I'm crying.
Well, that wraps up this segment.
Thanks. That was great.
Ghetto Games Podcast.